fail to see my vision of how we can do this one way, you know what I mean? We can act like it's fun and games, you know what I'm saying? Or we can say, we're going to go 100 miles an hour, balls to the fucking wall, we're going to get the fucking interviews we want, and we're not going to stop unless we get them. You know what I mean? There's only one way to fucking do it. And then we're not going to tolerate no for an answer. Like, we can't sit back and say, oh, you know, that show sucked, this one sucked. You know, we may have bad shows, but you know what? We're going to have good ones, too. And the only way to do it is to stay 100% focused and positive as a team and work together. Nobody can be like, this, well, we could have done it. No, you know what? We did it. Nobody can actually say, hey, look at me. I got a Charlie Outback Radio business card in my pocket right now, and a Charlie Outback shirt, and I run a radio station, and it was my idea, and I'm going to take every one of my friends with me. You know what? I'm not going to hire no outside people that I don't trust to come rip me off or take my ideas or take my logos. You know what I mean? I'm going to take everybody that actually gives a shit about either what we're doing or, you know, the program itself, whether they want to better themselves to get on a resume or to you know, to say, I did this, we did a radio show once, and this is it, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'll work for all of us one day, even if it's not successful. But to tell you the truth, I'm not going to take not successful as an answer at all.
I mean, that's the way to do it.
If people want to get bored with it, when I ask them and they sound, Pete, sounds like you're reading off a book. I am. Because I'm writing the show. You know what I mean? I am reading. Who wrote the fucking program? Me. You know what I mean? Not them. You know? And it's like, so if I set you up for a fucking question, you're going to answer it completely. You know? And I just gave you carte blanche to answer the question. You know? And but no, they're not like, well, Mr. Outback, what do you think about this? No, they don't do that on the show yet. A, they're not comfortable enough. You know what I mean? So
I mean, you're getting yourself established.
Yeah, but it's always me like, so, Mr. Lightfoot, what do you think about this? Or Dr. Levy, what do you think about this? And no one's ever like, well, Charlie, you know what I mean? It's always like, blah, blah, that sounds like I'm just rambling, you know? But if I got to ramble on, like Led Zeppelin says, to get to where I got to go, then we will ramble, baby. And I will ramble heavy.
Do you see the time of the show maybe extending in the future?
If it was up to me, we'd run a 2-hour show, and I would do an hour on a topic, and I would do another hour on current affairs, current events, you know what I mean? But I do not have that jurisdiction right now because of undisclosed reasons.
Well, you do have an established staff of, like, a good amount of people so far.
We do.
How many guys you got?
We have Jack Levy, the Doc. We got Edward Lightfoot. We got Johnny Flash. We got Charlie Outback. And we got Muddy Waters over here.
A word.
You know what I mean? So, but, you know, there's certain decisions that I can pull strings on, but some things are not my toys. So, therefore, some of my toys cannot be put on for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I want to, if I had the permission to have those toys put on for 2 hours, I'd run the radio station every day if I could. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I don't have
that capacity. I mean, I think that's understandable.
But one day we will have that. We'll be like, you know, Muddy Waters, it's time for you to go on for 2 hours.
On the record, I like that name.
You know what I mean? And they'll be like, Jack, 9 o'clock, you're running a show for 2 hours. What are you doing tomorrow, Mr. Lightfoot? You know what I mean? Like, can you do it? Give me a 3-hour thing on this. You know what I mean? Fuck this hardball shit. Fuck this Scarborough's garbage. Fuck
Scarborough? What's that?
MSNBC. You know, Keith Olbermann, go back to ESPN. And Bill Maher, go back to Pascal Hills and singing the choir. And you know, Bill O'Reilly, why don't you curse some more people off and make more people feel like shit? You know what I mean? Like, this is real. This is the truth. This is where this is the only stream of media where you're going to get the exact facts. And even if we're wrong, then we studied wrong. And we'll tell you if we're wrong. You know what I mean? We're not going to follow some big owner that owns a company like Rupert Murdoch owns Fox, or, you know, the other guys that own MSNBC, or Ted Turner who owns CNN. Nobody owns anything. You know what I mean? This is real American radio. It's the only truth that you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? There's
Absolutely.
no money in other people's pockets that are telling you what to say. Well, you know, I got billions of dollars. You're going to say what I want. You know what I mean? Our only outlook is to enforce the truth to the American people. That's it. And I'm not going to tolerate for anything less. And we're going to go 100 miles an hour, and we're going to do it. That's it.
Not sugar-coated?
No sugar-coated bullshit. There's no candy. There's no garbage. You know what I mean? I'm smoking a cigarette. I don't want children to smoke. You know what I mean? And I'll tell them that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have a destiny. And they have free will, and they have to pursue it. They got to take their dreams by the balls and say, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. You know, we got to do. We can't live these program lives. Wake up, eat, feed the baby, do this, or have the girl listen. You know what? No, the truth needs to be told. The country is in a major mayhem right now, and Outback Radio is going to make sure that they get what they need to hear. And that's it. And we got the Doc, we got Muddy Waters, we got Jumpin' Johnny Flash, and we got Mr. Edward Lightfoot himself, the best brewer of beer.
And is that a nickname or no?
No, these are all their names. Definitely names.
Very cool.
We don't use. Listen, people's privacy is worth it. Okay, so their names are not going to be used.
Yeah.
Because if some asshole does decide, because we're speaking the truth, to go after certain people, then they're never going to have the real fucking names. It's that simple. You know what I mean? That's why there's nicknames. That's why there's pseudonyms. That, like,
yeah.
Mark Twain, that wasn't his real name. He wrote Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn. His real name was Samuel Clemens. That's where pseudonyms came from. Because back in the day, when you were writing, and you didn't think you were writing about something that would be acceptable, you had to have a different name. And the same thing with us broadcasting. We're going to broadcast the truth, and there's going to be a lot of people that may not like it. You know what I'm saying? And if we're broadcasting the truth, no one's going to know me by my real name.
Mm-hmm.
If Muhammad Ali can be known as Cassius Clay and change his name, then so can I.
And so can Garth Brooks.
There you go. You know what I mean?
Do you consider yourself a writer of sorts?
I am a writer. I was born a writer, and I wanted to write poetry and write books, but I realized that my writing was not meant in that caliber. It was meant to be written, and my voice was made to teach people, not poetry, not writing books. It was meant for a journalistic view. And anybody can go to school as journalism, but you really got to have a passion for pursuing and studying and understanding the outsources and resources and the different angles and who has to benefit from this and why would somebody do that. And it's very interesting because you can lie and you can the TV and the radio has the power to manipulate everyone. You know what I mean? So you actually have to be a writer to be a journalist. The first poem I wrote was in 6th grade. And it was, can you tell what is hell? Can you find what's in my mind? Can you feel the fiery flames? But I am not to blame. The power is mine. I am not human but divine. And with this power I will turn the hated fire that they burn.
This is very deep.
That's 6th grade, and it's very, mean. But my parents are getting divorced, and I was very lonely and bitter, and I would never really write like that anymore.
How old were you then?
I was probably about 12 or 11. You know what I mean? So they looked at me like he's writing these this dark and deep, deep poetry. And I kept on trying to write, and I kept on trying to get accepted because my brother was a great guitar player, and I played a little piano.
Which brother?
James.
I did not know that.
And he's in a band, and they've written this and that, but I couldn't find my niche, and all my friends had their niche. But now I found my niche now, and that niche is to make sure that the people hear the truth.